Hi, this is me, Marcus Ortiz, an animal lover, an athlete, and a creative. And it all started in the city of North Hollywood, my home. Freshman year happened to be the greatest year of my life. I attended North Hollywood High School and was part of one of the greatest magnets one can ever imagine, the North Hollywood High School Zoo Magnet. They're located off campus next to the LA Zoo. We work closely with the zoo and even the animals. Many classes and electives required us to even visit the zoo. And each one of the few hundred students, including the teachers and staff, grew close to the animals. Looking back, this year was truly amazing. Maybe it's because I had no responsibilities or I was just immature. Or maybe because this was the only full year of school that I got to experience. I lived the same day on repeat. I ate, went to school, played football, and when baseball season came, I played baseball. And the next day was the same exact day. I had a ton of friends, and to this day, I miss every single one of them. Maybe this was the best year for me because this was where I was most comfortable in life. In truly living, having no responsibilities, and just having fun. That all changed. Sophomore year came along, and boom! I had gotten a concussion. It was mid-October, and never in my life I thought I was going to get a concussion. I played football for 9 years, and I never would have imagined this happening to me. Out of all people, me. But it happened. And for 3 months I was stuck at home, unable to walk, unable to see clearly. This caused me to lose contact with my friends. Overcoming the challenges my brains faced was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Many people don't know what it's like to have a but I can tell you this, it freaking sucks. You never know what that person is going through, both mentally and physically. I ended up recovering by the second semester of my sophomore year, and I went back to school. And it's like things never changed. I had some great plans for my junior year. Have fun, enjoy school, make some awesome memories. Little did I know it was never gonna happen. School had started, and I was still on the football team. The doctors told me that I shouldn't step foot onto another football field ever again. For next time, I would not recover. But how was I supposed to listen when football was the one thing I loved the most? And so I played. The first 2 games were a breeze, but on the third, it happened again. But only this time it was worse. Boom! I was blindsided. And before I knew it, I had a second concussion. But this time, it happened too early. The school year had already started, and there weren't any grades in the system for them to be frozen or put on hold. And then slowly, they started dropping. I tried to learn, but it was just hard for my brain to do even the simplest things. Can you imagine that? Not being able to do the simplest thing in the world, such as read and write. I had no choice but to finish off my junior year at home. By the time my brain was fully healed, I was finally able to learn. I attended an independent learning school known as City of Angels. My grades were too low to be considered passing at the time, so I had to redo the whole school year. Not only that, if I wanted to attend school the following year, I had to complete 1 full year in a single semester. That's exactly what I did. I bunkered down, and I worked as hard as I possibly could. I worked from 6 in the morning to 10 at night, isolating myself in my room and completing my weekly assignments. I was working so hard that I soon began completing 1 week's worth of work in a single day. One by one, I was knocking out each class. Boom, boom, boom. I could remember looking out the window and the sun would be as bright as day. I put my head down, and when I looked up, it was already pitch black. My whole junior year was the same. Wake up, do work, eat, do more work. And the next day was the same exact thing. Every single day, every day, I grinded my butt off. Also, I could go back to school and see my friends again. And I made it happen. Not only did I make it happen, but I also completed most of my senior year during home studies. currently my senior year, and boy has it been a roller coaster. Homeschooling has made me a different person. I'm independent, self-motivated, and my perspective on the world has changed entirely. I've returned to the magnet. I was returning to my home, the place where I went through the motions of school. I played sports, did my homework, and I talked to my friends. And that was pretty much it. If it weren't for my concussion and having that push to learn and doing new things on my own, then I would have had no sense of what I wanted my future to be. My concussion was truly a blessing. But when I returned to school, things didn't feel right. There was drama over nonsense and many people with problems that weren't really problems. But that's high school. I wanted to discuss bigger plans, like the future and things I wish to accomplish. As time went by, I started to feel as if coming back to school and grinding so hard was a waste. And so I had to make the hardest decision ever. And I decided to leave. And that's how I arrived here at BHS. This was a great opportunity for me to truly start off fresh. But I can't say which school I prefer the most. As for I've come to realize that there's drama at every single school, along with people's own unique problems. And after all, most people haven't yet thought deeply about what they want to do in the future. And there's really nothing wrong with that. After learning this, I've continued to keep moving forward because there is no going back. I told myself that I was going to try new things and make the best of this year. On my first day of school, I followed my passion. I walked towards the football field and I talked to the coaches. I just asked if I could help them throughout the season and practices. And man, that was the best thing I could have ever done. One simple question changed my whole senior year. I showed up every day as I possibly could, helping with the water, helping with the play cards. And to me, this was nothing but fun. There's no words that can describe how much I love football. By the time game day came, I was asked to help film the game by one of the coaches, Coach T. And as soon as I got my hands on the camera, I suddenly found what I love to do, and that was videography, especially when it came down to filming football. I thank T to this day for what he has done for me. I then began to branch out and began taking pictures of baseball, and even some self-portraits of myself. It took me a while to get a hang of everything, but I've come to learn that with hard work and dedication, there are no limits as to what one can do. Now, throughout high school, you'd always see couples making out in the hallways, hugging in class, or holding hands as they walk by. Some relationships may even take you by surprise, or maybe you just saw it coming. But recently I had a question as to why is it that many people, once reaching maturity, tend to seek love and affection. So I've stumbled across an old research paper that I was assigned in 9th grade, and the topic just so happened to be, why sex? And if you really think about it, there could be limitless reasons as to one would want sex. Now, the scientific explanation would be so that the genes could be passed down and thus cause a variation within the community. But in high school, many people sway from teen parenting. So after reading more into my studies, it's one sex appeal and or beauty that attracts others to them. Now, peacocks purposely use their beauty and their feathers to attract the mate for reproductive systems only. Sorry. But some animal species, such as bonobos, have sex just for fun. Now, this relates fairly close to high school because although this is a topic that is mostly swayed from, high schoolers are just a bunch of bonobos that have high preferences over one sex appeal. The best advice I could give for all high schoolers is to be a peacock and only attract when necessary. But if you wish to be a bonobo, be safe, or find something fun to do. I found many fun things to do in my senior year. Not only did I start film, but I also joined clubs and classes that I could have never seen myself join. I'm in yearbook, sports medicine, fashion club, and even the animal protection club. Not everything I have done has turned out to be amazing, but what high school has taught me is that you never know the outcome of something until you try it. If you want something and you're not sure what it is, then just do everything. Literally everything. And that's how you end up finding what it is you were looking for. It's easy to enjoy life without any responsibilities or worries of the future. It's easy to just give up and not do any work. And it's easy to just procrastinate and sleep all day. But who in the heck would ever want to do so much to learn and experience? The basic principles of life are to live and to learn. And you won't learn anything without actually doing it. That's like reading how to do push-ups without actually doing it. And that's what high school has taught me. You make mistakes and you learn from them. At the end of the day, you have limitless amounts of friends. People you sat next to, maybe even cried with, but it's the ones that are there for you through it all that are the truly ones, that are the ones that are going to truly last forever. That's what you call family. Now, I don't know what my plans are for the future. Heck, no one knows what the future will look like. There's so many things to try and experience, and so much of the world that is yet to be explored. I may be a videographer, a photographer, a YouTuber, or maybe even work in the NFL. I truly don't know, but I can guarantee you this: it's going to be epic.